Welcome to sunny San Diego. We are going to look at video AI tools in the app called Poe. And what I'm going to do is move myself over just briefly. I'm going to minimize myself actually. And you're going to see my screen, which shows on the right various AI models we test today. And on the column on the right of each of the named AI models, we see the compute point costs for each video I generated in that model. And I'm moving the AI model down and I'm scooting myself back over. And let us look at the very first model we're working with, which is Pika 1.0. So all we gave it, we're going to give every one of these the exact same prompt. So here is that prompt. Imagine every single video starting with this exact set of words, and the AIs that produce them all do a different interpretation of these words. A pullback shot depicting a guitar being strummed by a grunge rock musician standing in front of the reflecting pond at Balboa Park in San Diego, California. So that prompt has been given to every one of the video AIs we're seeing today, and we're seeing the results from each of them and what they thought of that sentence, starting with the lowest compute points cost bot. Now, that means it was basically the fastest to produce this video, and also it thought the least about it. This AI model thought the least to produce this video compared to other ones, which will think longer before producing a video. So we press play and we see what that was. There's nothing. It's just a weird mass of guitar and there's some sort of reflection happening. It's not very useful. So moving on, we're going to look at Pika 1.5. Now this model cost 11,500 points. So it cost it 4 times nearly as much as the one we just saw. So Pika 1 to Pika 2 is this. Let's watch. I think it's pretty, okay, it's pretty, there we go. That was a better word. It's doing a lot of what we asked for. I see there's a guitar, there's a musician, there's a reflecting pond. It's got aspects of what San Diego's Balboa Park area looks like. And I picked that, Balboa Park, San Diego, because I know where that is, I know what it should look like. So I was able to check these as I went and see if it matched up with my expectation of what that reality should look like. And actually, at the end of this, we're going to see a video that I took at the area I'm depicting with this text prompt, and we'll see how accurate it was to those. So Pika 1.5 was pretty good. Let's look at the next one, which was Dream Machine. So this was 12,000 points compared to Pika 1.5, the one we just saw, which was 11,500. So 500 more points gets you this scary guy. I'm editorializing a little bit, but it's opinion. Let's see how it looks. He's moving in kind of slow motion, but it does a pullback like we asked, so it's adherent to the prompt, and he's strumming. So hey, accuracy. Dream Machine's got a lot of good accuracy. Let's pause it. Let's look at the next one we're going to look at, which is one called Kling, K-L-I-N-G, Pro version 1.5. Again, starting with the same prompt as every other video we've seen so far. Let's watch its results. Now this looks, to me, very realistic. That could be a drone shot that someone had that pulled back. Like I could have shot that if I were at this venue with myself and my phone. So that's realistic to me. I like the look of that. Let's look at the next one, which is Hailuo AI. And I've done videos about this before. I believe strongly in Hailuo AI's abilities to produce novel imagery. And just about anything you can come up with in a prompt, I've been able to get out of Hailuo AI. So let's see what it did for this. I really like it. To me, it did everything I asked for. I'll tell you, it has a level of artifice. It looks a little fake and processed, almost like it came out of a 1999 music video that had a lot of CGI in the background, which, for all intents and purposes, could be the actual videos that are being pulled from Hailuo AI to produce this new video. I don't know. I don't know what's in its model database. Let us look at the next one, which is Hailuo Live. Now these have benefits and detriments compared to each other, but I haven't found the difference between them yet. They both cost the same, which is 16,667 points. So both of these, each of these videos cost that many points, and each of these clips has been about 5 seconds. So let's see Hailuo live. Okay, he's strumming. He's doing everything. I can't meaningfully compare this to the other one, except this one seems more realistic compared to the other one's, as we mentioned, kind of hyper stylized, realistic look. So let's see what the next one is, which would be Pika 2.0. So we've seen Pika 1, we've seen Pika 1.5, and now we're seeing Pika 2. Pullback shot depicting guitar being strummed by grunge rock musicians standing in front of the reflecting pond at Balboa Park in San Diego, California. Take us there, Pika 2. This actually looks like a friend of mine. So there we go. Let's see, and that was 20,000 compute points to produce that. Let's see what the next video we did was, which was in a video AI called Runway. So again, we gave the same exact prompt, but this time we added a parameter, a control handle, which was it can have a duration of up to 10 seconds. So we told Runway, go ahead and give me a 10-second clip based on this text I'm providing you. Let's see how it looks. So this is our longest shot yet, too. It's actually longer than the other shots. I'm going to actually scroll down because I think we saw a little less than we should have. He's kind of floating on the water, but maybe his music is just that good. I will say what I'm interested in is the fact that this is a longer clip and that it did a lot of the things I asked for, except I'm going to be pedantic as a cinematographer type person would be. It is not a pullback that I'm seeing. To me, it looks like a zoom out. Pullback implies the camera moved in 2 different places from point A to point B. A zoom out is basically just the lens just gets closer and farther away in terms of what it's covering. So they're different. I don't think it did a bad job, and I think it was 20,000 points well spent to learn what it can do. The next one, we're jumping up a bit now in compute points, and I say a bit, I actually mean nearly a magnitude, because we're going from 20,000 points, compute points in Poe, spent on that video we just saw, to Google's VEO2 model, which is going to cost 92,000 points to produce what we're seeing here. I gotta say, I don't think that was 92,000 points spent very well. But I did learn what its strength and weakness is in terms of what it thinks San Diego looks like. It's not inaccurate, but that's certainly not at Balboa Park because you can't see downtown from Balboa Park. And then there's one final model we tested, which was Ray 2. This is a brand new model, just like the ones we tested, VEO and the Pika 2.0. This is Ray 2, and this one has these parameters. It's got a 16:9 aspect ratio, it's got 9 seconds length, and it's going to be a full 1080p clip. Let's see what it looks like. I'll tell you what I am interested in. Okay. He's kind of wonking out there toward the end. I was interested to see how well it was accurately depicting finger strumming and moving up the parts of the guitar neck, and then I would say there are brief half seconds in that we could use, but the entire thing doesn't have. I don't know what we would use the entire thing for. So, you've just seen all of the AI, text-to-video AI models in Poe that I could get a result from. Now, there's one more thing we can do to change our results and get maybe a more accurate to our imagined image result. What we're going to do is load up Recraft AI, or Recraft version 3, and we're going to ask this AI image maker. This is now not an AI video maker, it's an AI image. So it's just a still image we're going to ask for. I can ask it, produce a wide shot of a grunge rock musician holding a guitar standing in front of the reflecting pond at Balboa Park in San Diego, California. Botanical garden building in the background. And it can give me this. So with this image that we've now gotten out of Recraft version 3, which is also in Poe, so we're staying all within Poe while we do this work, we were able to produce an image that is much more adherent to the reality, because I know what it should look like. This is pretty close. The reality of Balboa Park and what this person would look like if they were there. So now what we can do is the video models we've used that accept an image reference, we can take this image, give it to the AIs we've already used as our image reference, and give it the exact same prompt we already used as well to make those other videos, and we can get far more accurate results in terms of matching what this image looks like, which we already agree upon, because I'm saying it is good, is realistic. So now let's start back at the beginning. And we're gonna go back all the way to the two that didn't work, by the way. I skipped these two at the beginning. The two that I tried and never got to work were this one, Hoinyan Video, and I might not be pronouncing that right, and Hyper 2.0. I tried, didn't get it to work. I gave up after a few tries. Moving on, let's go back to Pika. Does Pika let me upload an image reference? It does. What does it look like when I give Pika for the same amount of compute points as this video, whatever this one was? Because remember that thing we watched at the beginning that Pika said was supposed to be a pullback shot of a guitar being strummed? Okay, that was not 3,750 points well spent. Let's spend those points again, 3,750 points, but this time we're going to upload that image reference point. So we'll see what this looks like now. Okay. So this passes for a person in motion. The pond has ripples. There's a little bit of motion in the camera. This is a better way to do a very specific visual as a video output. And we're getting much more closely just realistic images or realistic results in our videos, because we've eliminated a lot of the thought from the computer about what should happen in it. It doesn't have to generate a ton of novel ideas and imagery just to start making the first frame of the video. It can just spend time making this still image realistically move compared to our prompt. So let's see how Pika 1.5 did when we gave it the still image and the same prompt. Oh, I tried. It didn't give me anything. And then I tried again and it got 1% further and it didn't give me anything. And then it just stopped. So I also stopped. Pika 1.5, you tried, it didn't give me what I wanted. Let's move on to Dream Machine. Now, all of these are going to cost the exact same amount of compute points to do it with the image reference as to do it without, except for the one at the very end, which I'll show. So let's see what happens when we give Dream Machine the same prompt as before, but with our image reference. I'll notice there's a little more ripples in the pond. His guitar is not quite as stable and it's kind of morphing at the neck and then the stuff there. I like our other one from Dream Machine better. I like this one better. Even though this guy was kind of scary, I think he was a funner video, because funner's a word. Now let's look at Kling Pro, and can we upload an image reference? We can. So we gave that same concept, and this one was the same amount of points this time as before, which was 16,667. I'll tell you what I really like about this is it almost looks like a handheld camera tracking, because it looks like footsteps kind of shaking back and forth. I like it. It's realistic. And it's a long clip. It's 5 seconds. Let's see what the next one is, which was Hailuo AI. Hailuo AI with the image reference and that same prompt. Okay, his head's doing some weird stuff. I don't know if I like that. Okay. Well, all right. I don't have anything to say about that useful. Let's try Hailuo Live. And this also costs 16,667 points. This one with the image reference. I think this one's way better. Like, way better than the Hailuo AI. I can't define why, except that it doesn't morph as much and the static image is kind of more pleasant to look at compared to the slightly jittery one of the last. So let's take a look at Pika 2.0. This is with the image reference. and something called precise ingredient mode, which is a little control you can activate down here that says, do you want to be creative or precise with the image you give it? And that I chose precise because I wanted it to duplicate most of what I gave it in the image, except make it in motion. How did it do? So I really like what this one's doing because it's dynamic. And it is a push in. Now it's not a pullback, but it's a push in. And it couldn't have pulled back much further because then it would have been too wide. I like it. And this guy's got quite a mane of hair. Super cool. What is our next one? Oh, Runway. Okay, now Runway is... Did it give me one ever? Yes, it did. How much did that one cost? Let's just check the compute points cost on this one. Okay, this was 20,000 as well. So let's see what our Runway ML shot was with the image reference. This guy got a microphone. I didn't see that in the image reference we gave it. Was it in there? I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of good background accuracy. That looks about right. If I took the first second out, where the microphone kind of just appears out of nowhere, I think it'd be perfect. And his hat kind of appears out of nowhere. If I took those out, this could be a very useful shot, depending on my context and needs. Let us look at, VO2. So what I tried to do with VO2 was upload an image, and it wouldn't let me. So we skipped that. Let's look at the very last one, which was Ray 2. And the reason this is the very last one is because once I realized it could do anything I wanted, that's what this is about to show you, I just was like, okay, great. I'll rely on this next time I need something. I'll just make sure I give it an image reference. So here is our same prompt as before with the image reference, and these are our results. I mean, to me, that looks realistic as heck. Realistic, so realistic. And the cool thing is, remember how, I'll scroll back up, remember how this video was costing us 94,000 compute points, nearly 100,000 compute points just to produce that whatever? Well, this one, which I'm saying is the most realistic we've made so far, this one cost a quarter of the amount of points. This one cost 23,500 points to produce. Now it's a little shorter, and maybe I changed the resolution, but I'm just seeing so much potential with this Ray 2, which looks like it's the same logo as Dream Machine, so maybe Dream Machine and Ray 2 are from the same company. This just looks tremendous. And as I promised, here is the final clip of reality. This was me earlier today. See, it looks just like me. So that's it. Now you have a comparison for what the video looks like in real life and then everything you just saw. I don't know, what do you think? Was that realistic? Was that, can you imagine the singer guy, not me, but like the singer guy right here, and just like you have all the information you need to make a decision for yourself now. And the Poe account that I used to do this, I ended up spending almost 400,000 compute points last night just to do these clips, to do these tests. So now you don't have to. You've got a little bit of a primer on what they're for. The order in which I ranked them is relative to their ability. The very last one was obviously the one I think that was the best, and it also happened to cost the most points. But it was a very reasonable amount of compute points once we used it with an image reference, because that just cuts so much of the rigmarole out, where you just don't have certain things right because you didn't tell the computer how to render them. So I just love that. And that's a cool looking guitar too. It reminds me of like a marble donut. Like a donut with like marble frosting on top. So I had a good day doing this with you. Thank you. Have a lovely everything. Enjoy whatever city you have access to. I've been here having a good time with you. Now it's time to go do stuff in the real world.